So let's do it, shall we? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Get Live training call. My name is Janet Legere, and along with my husband, Don Legere, we're your hosts each Saturday morning here in Calgary, where we share some of the strategies we've used over the years to build our list and create a business online. Make more money. And that is why you're all either to learn how to do it or to learn how to do it better, to learn how to get more strategies, pick up more tips, but at the end of the day, it's about improving your life and making more money here on the internet. Because the internet is a fruitful place if you know how to pick the fruit. And mostly, it's a fruitful place if you actually go and pick the fruit. So today we're going to be talking about picking the fruit and how to make first contact. I'm really excited about our call today. We're going to talk a little bit about who Dawn and I are, where we came from, why you even want to listen to us. We do have a story to tell. And then we're going to get into my favorite part of the call where Dawn does a bit of inspiration on life and living. I think I know what his topic is about today, and it's pretty cool. And then we're going to get into talking about how to make first contact. I'm pretty excited about today's call because I have a feeling this is a subject that's challenging for many of you. Can I just get a little feedback before we get started? While I'm waiting for your feedback, do you find that making first contact is a challenge for you? Now, I'm going to give you some strategies today. I'm going to show you how to break down those barriers and how to get out there, but it's really not magic. There's nothing magic to it, and we'll show you why today. I just want to remind you guys that this is a very generic call, and we ask that you don't share your personal or business information in the text chat, meaning no links, no emails, such as that. And you guys never do. You're pretty awesome, and I appreciate you more than I can say. You guys are phenomenal at that. You're very professional, very respectful, and I love that you engage in our text chat. So I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to post your questions, post your comments. Just keep the chat on topic, and we'll have a lot of fun. Sound good? So who the heck are Janet and Dawn Legere? Well, the truth is that we're just two ordinary people, happily married couple, and we're just like all of you. For whatever reason, we were drawn to the internet as a tool to build a business. We actually met online back in 1998. Yeah, 16 years ago, and it's been 16 amazing years. And about a year later, we both found ourselves with the opportunity to be away from the corporate world. We both worked in the corporate world and had all our lives. I had quite a bit of opportunity with my own business. Don certainly knew the ins and outs of his own business, and we decided that the internet seemed a really good venue to build a business. With our skills that we had combined, it just made sense. And so we began that journey in 1999, and since then we have successfully created many revenue streams in affiliate and network marketing. And how did we do it? I remember the first network marketing company that we joined, first traditional MLM, quite an old company. You guys probably all familiar with it. It's the Shackley Corporation, and we joined, and within 30 days we'd qualified for all these things. We didn't even know. Okay, I got an email from the company saying that the owner of the company was going to be in Calgary. I didn't even know who he was. I didn't know that this was a big deal, and that we were invited to a private pre-thing to have drinks, have cocktails with the owner of the company, and that this would be just a select few leaders. And so something in me said, you know, Don, we should probably go to this. And I got a taste of recognition at that event. There were about 15 of us, 15 of us, that got to rub shoulders with Roger Barnett. He's a multi-billionaire who owns purchased Shackley, I'm not sure how long ago now, long before we were with the company, so it's got to be 10 years now or more. Amazing man, got to talk to him like he was just one of us. And I came to understand that he really was just one of us. He was just a normal person, just like you or I. The fact that he had money didn't make him anyone different. He was an amazing man. I got a taste of recognition. I had no idea that we had qualified for an all-expense paid vacation to an all-inclusive resort, and I mean all expenses paid. We just picked up our bags, got to the airport, everything was taken care that was our first taste of that. We were recognized as Rookie of the Year, so we sponsored the most members in the company as a new distributor. And I think we were number 2 in the company for sponsoring. But it was a little crazy, okay? It was just a little bit crazy. And man, we had fun. And the first trip we went to, everybody said, you know, how long have you been with the company? Well, at that point, it had been 6 months from when we joined. And we were on the trip, and they all just looked at us, and they wanted to know our secrets. So does anyone here know our secrets? I said, yeah, we've been with the company 6 months, and they just said, they hounded us. For the 7 days that we were there, we were hounded every day by people, by somebody who wanted to have lunch with us or have dinner or have drinks with us and pick our brains. Like, what is your magic? Anybody here know my magic? How we were able to rise to the top of a company in a heartbeat. Oh no, it had nothing to do with communication, Vince. Well, it did. It did. There you go. That's right, Tamara. I had a list. I said, it was easy. That's what I would tell them when they would ask me. I said, it was easy. I spent 7 years building a list. And they just looked at me like I was speaking some foreign language. And then they all began to follow me. They all began to learn from me. They wanted to learn my secrets. So, and it wasn't personal contact, Rick. I built my list. I started building my list back in 1999 when we got online. That was one of the first things I started doing, collecting people's names. I had no idea what I was doing, but that is what I was doing. I was building my list. I started making contact with those people. Today we're going to talk about making first contact, but you got to find the people to make contact. We talked about that last week about building your list. The truth is, our success is about our list, and the people that are on that list, the people that have built a level of trust with us. After 7 years, they had. And was that the first business they joined us in? No. But they had followed us, and they trusted us. And so when we decided that that was the company we were going to choose, they came with us. And yes, we had good communication with those people, and we built a level of trust. But the truth of the matter is, I had a list. I had a list of subscribers. I sent an email. We became leaders. End of. And I can tell you that it's the same in any program, any business I join, because I continue to grow my list on a daily basis, and because I offer value to that list, they follow me. I know that I can ask in the room here today, if I sent you an email today and I said, I need your opinion on a program. I just joined it. It's working phenomenally well. We're having a great success with our team, and I'd really like to know what you think of it. Would you look at it? And ask that question. And then we're going to move on to my favorite part of the call. Yeah, you would. You would look at it. Chances are, if the fee was reasonable, you'd sign up. If it was free, you definitely would, and there's a good opportunity you would upgrade because you trust that if I'm recommending it, it's got to be good. And now, having said that, does it mean that everything I touch turns to gold? No. But for the most part, when I recommend something, it's of value. Yes? Would you all agree with that? There's been a few things that, I don't have control over everything, right? However, I do have control of the people I connect with, and I'm really excited with the circle of influence that I'm connected with right now. And I know that it's only going to be a benefit to all of you. So stay tuned. We have more to come. At Contact List Builder and everything we're doing on here, our Contact List Builder program is really what advanced everything we did to another degree. Because as I started to teach others the strategies I used, then they started to follow those tips and strategies. And some of them started to make progress too. But there's a secret to all of this, and we're going to talk more about that in the next part of our call, right after we spend a little time feeding our minds, feeding our souls, taking a different perspective on things, looking at the world from a different point of view, thinking about things in a different way. When I met Dawn back in 1999, I remember a day when I was really, really scared because I really didn't think he could possibly be for real. How could this man be for real? When I checked off my list of all the things I wanted and the perfect partner, that was him, and still is. And I can tell you it was because I created it in my mind, and he really was real. And what you create in your mind is yours. And I've learned to have a lot of fun over the last 16 years. And I'm looking forward to having a lot of fun over the next 60 years. And with that in mind, I'm going to turn the fun over to my partner, my best friend, my husband, Mr. Don Legere. Take it away, my love.
Yes, I am here. I had to reset my microphone for some reason. I hope you can all hear me okay. We're good? We're good to go? Excellent. Good morning, everyone. Great to have you here. Today I want to talk about being interested, not interesting. I don't know. Has anyone here read the book by Dale Carnegie, Win Friends and Influence People? Anyone? Anyone here? Ever read that book? Well, Dale Carnegie says that you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. That's a pretty profound statement. I'm gonna read it again. Dale Carnegie says that you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? That sounds like a pretty darn good win-win situation. If we become interested in what people are doing, it is a win-win proposition. The problem is trying to be interesting. When you're trying to be interesting to other people, it's very tiring. It's a lot of work to keep that level up so that you can be interesting to everything and everybody you meet. Trying to get people's attention is really totally exhausting when you're trying to be interesting. And trying to keep it is almost impossible, ladies and gentlemen. So listen, the trick is not to be interesting, and a lot of us do. I don't know if any of you have sat around a family discussion and there's always a character there who's trying to be interesting rather than interested. As opposed to being interested, if you become interested, where you're looking for the main problem, the main issue, that comes about by being interested, by asking questions of the participants, by getting to the solutions, by uncovering the problems. And by being interested, I think a lot of you know that this technique is used by counselors, it's used by coaches, and that's why people seek them out, because they're an individual that will sit there and actually listen to and try to recommend solutions for you given your situation or your problem. Active listening, and this is something that Coach Jean Hudson does extremely well. She is an active listener. She can get to the bottom of an issue just by asking those little questions, keeping you talking. And when she is able to ask those questions to keep you talking, to keep you interested, and she will get to the bottom of your issue. She will get to the bottom of the problem. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you're out there talking, networking, be interested in what other people are doing. Janet mentioned earlier on the call about Roger Barnett. He owns the Shackley Corporation, rather wealthy guy. And, like Janet's story goes, we didn't even know this guy. I didn't even want to go. I'm just saying, why? I think my time's more valuable than going down to meet this guy, because we had no idea who he was, what his influence was, or anything. We just knew this guy to be a rich guy who's coming to see us, so we decided we'd go. And I was taken aback. I was totally blown away by this guy's interest in what we were doing. This is a guy who was active. This is a guy that when he spoke to you, he pulled out his little pad and he'd ask you to repeat that and he'd write it down and then he would act on these things. So here is a guy who, totally, 180 from what I was expecting to what I got to meet. And from that, I could understand totally why he was so successful, why he was a billionaire. And that reason why is that when he went about doing his networking, he was interested in what other people were doing. Now, I've also met some owners of other large companies, other large MLMs, who to me weren't that interested in what I was doing. Rather, they were more interested in talking about themselves and their solutions and how great they were. So, totally opposite. Totally opposite. And you can see that you can get more people involved in your network activity by becoming more interested. For example, if you happen to get on the phone to call someone who left you their number on your website, be interested in what they're doing. Be like a friend. Phone them up and say, "Hey Florence, what is it that you're doing today to help bring about the results that you're looking for? What activities are you doing each and every day?" And talk about those activities. Ask questions like, can you expand on that? Or you could say, that's great, and how do you do that? You just keep asking questions to get them to keep talking. Now, the best salesman in the world is the guy who doesn't talk. And I think the problem that we have in the room, that we have as individual networkers, is number one, we're not professionals, right? None of us went to school to become a networker, so we have no idea. But we all know how to communicate. And we all know the importance of being interested in what other people have. Now, whether they work with you or not after spending some time with them on the phone, guess what's going to happen? Florence is going to sit there and say, that's the first guy, that's the first person who has ever phoned me and was actually interested in what I was doing rather than pushing a program or promising me the world or saying I'll become rich just by joining a program on the phone. Because a person who is interested is a guy or a girl or a woman or a man who is interested in building longer-term relationships, is interested in understanding the people they work with. They're interested in becoming successful. And they're interested in what it is you are all doing out there, because by being interested, they can take some of the tips and tricks that you're using personally and apply them to what they're doing. The other thing they can do is they are learning to become more interested in other people. And it's a learned skill. It's asking the questions, keeping the conversation going, asking questions like who, what, how, where, when, and that's it. At the end of that conversation, they will be interested in you. And they will find ways to work with you. So here are some tips then to help you become more interested in what other people are doing. Number one, use body language to show the guy you're talking with that you're engaged in by facing them, paying attention. Don't zone out. Look at them. Ask some questions. Nod your head yes when they're saying something positive. Nod your head no when they're saying something negative. But sitting up straight, looking them in the eye. If you're on the phone, stand up. Your voice projects better when you're in a posture of standing as opposed to sitting. Because most of us, when we sit, we slouch over, and it kind of boggles. It's just not as powerful communication. So stand up. Minimize any distractions so that you can give them your full attention. If you're doing calls from home, close the door. You don't want anybody walking in while you're doing a call. You don't want anyone to be disturbing you while you're having a conversation. If you're doing that, you're showing someone that you're not really that interested in what they're doing, but there's a lot of stuff going around that you got to take care of. Some people out there say, you know, give the people, the individual, the impression that you're busy. And they will say, you know, if you got to leave a message for someone and they're not there, say something like, I don't have much time. Well, the minute you start your conversation with, I don't have much time, but I thought I'd leave this information for you, it shows that you're busy, but busy doing what? It shows the person who you've just left the message for that, you know, it's great we connected, whatever, if we ever connect again. So don't use techniques like, you know, I'm busy, I just had a moment. You know, if in fact it's true, tell them that. If it's not true, don't tell them that. Tell them why you're phoning, and hopefully they'll get back to you. Use words of encouragement. Words like, really? Then what? And interesting. Shows people that you're paying attention. When you mirror back what they're saying to you, guess what? It builds that rapport. It builds a solid base for you to move forward from this point to the next point to the next point. So focus on what the other person is saying rather than what you plan to say next. Here's the problem with network marketing. Here's your phone script, right? Well, I'm going to tell you, throw the phone script away. Why don't you phone someone up and say, Fern, Don Legere here. Listen, thanks for registering on my website. I thought I'd give you a quick call to see what you're doing. See if we got see if there's a way here we can work together. So, Fern, what are you doing today to make your income at home? What programs are you involved in? Are they working for you? Let them talk. And as they talk, ask more questions. Right? Be interested. Demonstrate that you've been paying attention by asking relevant questions or summarizing exactly what they just told you. For example, Fern, if I understand you right, this is how you're going about doing it, and you're not finding the success you're actually looking for. Is that correct? You'll say, yeah. And I'll say, can you tell me more about your frustrations? And he'll tell you more. So take notes, understand what it is. This is important. This is important for your future growth. You don't need a phone script. You don't have to be worried about what to say. You're not phoning individuals to close the sale. You're not meeting someone at a restaurant to close the sale. You're meeting people to become interested in what they're doing, and either it works for you or it does not. Either it works for them or it does not. But it's a much easier way than walking around with that stress level. I haven't closed any sales this month. Well, it's because you're trying to be interesting. You're telling them about your program, how much money you're earning, that type of thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, be interested, not interesting. Ask the appropriate questions. So I'm interested that you people do very, very well this week. And may your results be bigger and greater than any of you could hope or even realize. And with that, I'll pass the room back to Jan, and thank you all.
Well, that talk just segues right into what I'm going to be talking about today. So thank you for that, Dodd. Be interested rather than interesting. Do you guys really understand what that means? I mean, really, really, really. It's not about you making that $100 you got to get because you got the bills due. It's not about you with the stress and everything. It's about you connecting with people, because it's those people that can help change your future. Seriously. Every day I'm learning more and more what it means to be interested rather than being interesting. And yes, we all have our skills and we all have our abilities. And I've been approached from every aspect on the planet when it comes to online marketers, prospecting other people, and it's really a place to learn. It's education all on its own, isn't it? As soon as you come on the internet, your education never ends. Have you noticed that? Has anyone here noticed that? I want to know if you've learned everything there is to know about the internet. I've been here for 15 years. And I can tell you right now that one of the reasons that I love the internet is that it is always changing. Always changing. And so you can never learn everything you need to know about the internet. However, I can tell you right now, there are only a few things you really need to know. You need to know where to find people, and you need to know how to make contact. And then you need to learn to master the art of being interested in those people. Care what those people are doing and understand that learn from what you're hearing from the people. Actually listen to what they're saying. And like Dawn said, don't listen don't always be thinking about what you're going to say next. Listen to what they're saying. If you listen to what they say, you'll know what to say next. Am I right? Would you guys agree with me? If you listen to the person you're speaking with, truly listen to what they're saying, you'll know where to go with the conversation. You'll know what questions to ask next because it'll be a natural question to ask. And some people like to talk a lot. Some people love to talk about themselves and tell you how good they are, and they'll go on their accolades forever and ever. And let them. Just say, that's awesome. And then just say, what's working best for you? Start digging deeper. What part of it do you enjoy the most? There are two things that are going to come from a conversation that you have with someone, and we're going to talk about this more as we get into our presentation today. But making contact, making that first contact and being interested rather than being interesting pays dividends down the road. But you need to learn how to do this without an ulterior motive. You're simply gathering information that you'll process. You'll learn to process. And that's where following up comes into play. But first, you got to make contact. And I know I asked this question at the beginning of the call and I would like to see with our group here, so as we get started here, how many of you find that making first contact is probably the hardest thing you've ever done? Building a list is easy. Learning to use internet tools is easy. That's just all mechanical. But making contact with people, actually getting their attention, actually having a conversation, actually finding people to talk to, it's like pulling teeth. Like, where are they? I've done everything and they're just not there. I don't get it. Where are these people? Why aren't they responding to me? I hear this all the time. I'm out there every day. I'm reaching out. Nobody's responding to me. My answer is twofold to nobody is responding to me. Number one, change your approach. Continue to connect and change your approach. Continue to try something else and something else and something else and something else and keep trying and keep trying. And while you're doing that, continue to build your list. I mean, how many people are not responding? They're expecting a pitch. Absolutely. Every person that you connect with, every person that you make first contact with, they're expecting a pitch. So if you take a different approach toward them from the very beginning, and it's what I teach in everything I do, as I suggest to all of you, when you're setting up your autoresponder and you're setting up your follow-up messages, never make them a sales letter. And I tell salespeople out there who say you need to know sales copy if you want to make money on the internet. Who agrees with me? That's a crock of manure. I know absolutely. I mean, I know a lot about sales copy, and I don't use it because I go with my gut. And I go out there and I let people get to know who I am because I'm the person who cares about them. I want to know what they're doing. I want to know how I can help them. What can I give you that will help you get where you need to get? What do you need? What can I do? Here's something else. Can you try this? When you take that approach, it's much different. Do you guys ever feel that I'm selling to you, or do you feel that I'm really working to help you? Carl says, if I gave up after the no's, I wouldn't be here today. Oh, absolutely, Carl. None of us would. If you're not getting yeses, you don't have enough no's. So why is making contact so important? Well, the truth is that this is where trust happens in your business. And without trust, you don't have a business. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. If you are involved in the internet and you're involved in programs that are on the internet, that program may or may not be here in a year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. There's no guarantee But there are some really great people on the internet. There really and truly are. Carl is one of them. He gets my thumbs up. I think he's okay. I think we're okay with Carl. Carl and I are really just getting to know each other, and we're having a lot of fun doing that. We're both leaders in the industry, and we approach the business from two totally different points or two totally different aspects, and yet our approach and everything we do is the same. I'm simply pointing that out because it's really important that you find what works for you. You need to find a way that you can get interested in the people you're connected to. How can you get that message out there? And I know that's where you guys are stuck. It's what do I say? How do I get people to connect? Well, you just keep getting out there. You try different strategies. When do you do it? When do you make first contact? Every day, I hope. I hope every day you're out there connecting with people. And Phil, great to have you on our call, Phil, by the way. And welcome to all of our new guests here today. Phil was asking about finding people, that, you know, really finding people is a problem. And I don't know. Do you get a chuckle out of that, Carl? Anyone else here? Who here really kind of gets a chuckle that if somebody says they have a hard time finding people on the internet? Because everywhere I go, I am bombarded with people that I could possibly connect to. So there's not ever is there a lack of people to connect with. The challenge is making first contact. Now, I teach how to build a list on the internet. That's what I'm focused on. I believe that no matter what you're doing, I don't care if you're an offline marketer and you want to kind of use the internet. I don't care if you have your own business. If you've never been on the internet, you need to learn how to build a list. You need to learn how to set up an autoresponder. You need to learn how to do a few mechanical things. That's what I teach. And through that process, I teach you how to build your list and make first contact. So it's a whole system that's all in a nice, neat little package, and it's really designed for internet marketers. Carl is very much a one-on-one kind of guy, and he uses the same tools that I use to simply make first contact. So he's not necessarily building his list of subscribers like I am yet. He and I are going to discuss this, and I know he's just thinking that, she's going to be on me like a dirty shirt. But those are on the call here today who have learned to build their list know what I'm talking about, because your list is everything. Because regardless of what happens to company A or company B or company C, you have your list, and you have built a reputation with that list. And does the people on that list connect with you? Maybe. I don't know. I have to tell you that I look around the room here. I'm looking down the room. Brian Hayes, welcome. Your name is somewhat familiar but new to me. So Brian Hayes, great to see you here. I'm just going down the list. David, not sure which David you are, so I'm not sure whether I know you or not. Florence, same thing. Florence, though, I think you're new. Hyacinth, I know you, of course. Let me see, going down there. Newmark is new, but I know him as Bob. Phil is new, so I'm really great to see you here, Phil. Not sure of your last name. Everyone else here, I know. I know at some level. And I can tell you that I've not made first contact with everyone here, although I have with most of you. Most everyone in the room here, we have had a conversation, but not everyone. Yeah, we'll get there, right? But I want you to recognize that because I have a list and I make contact and you follow me, and at some point you get an email from me that says, I'm going to respond. But it doesn't happen on every email. Now you got to make the contact out there, guys. You've got to be out there to continue to connect with the people that you're getting connected with. The easiest way is to get them on your list. I'm going to keep stressing that, okay? The easiest way to make first contact is to get people on your list. My bars seem stuck. I just want to make sure that everyone here is still hearing me and following my slides. Good. Thank you, Tamara. Now, for those of you who have learned to set up an autoresponder and build a list, and you got your lead capture system and you're advertising, and Wow, that's really great because the system's going to do all the work for you and you don't need to make that first contact. Well, you better come here because I'm going to sit you down and I'm going to tie you in a chair until you hear the message. Autoresponders are not going to do the work for you. An autoresponder can introduce people to what you're doing, and I mean, I have to admit that a lot of people don't even realize my emails are autoresponders. That's because my emails are a little different. However, until you put yourself into this business and you make first contact, until you get out there and people see that you are interested in them, you aren't there just to pitch to them, although your ultimate goal, let's face it, is to pitch to them. However, they may or may not join your business. Now, if you're following what Dawn and I teach and the strategies we teach at Contact List Builder, you know that people can come on your list, they can get part of the program, you can be making money from people without them joining your primary business. That's the beauty of building your list the way we teach you. But I like it when you can take it a step further and actually begin to make first contact, actually get connected with a person on the other end of that email, on the other end of that Facebook page or somewhere, just getting people to respond. You keep doing it. You just keep doing it. You keep getting out there and you keep following up and you keep saying hi and you keep saying, what are you doing today? What's new today? What's new in your world? How can I be of service to you today? Hey, Gary, great to have you here. Good luck on the job interview. I hope that you get the job that you want the most. That's usually what happens. So let's talk about the type of first contact we can make. Right, we're going to go through here and talk about how to contact your subscribers. So how many of you here, we've got a pretty good group here today, how many of you have an autoresponder with subscribers on it? I don't, whether it's 1 or 100 or 1,000 or 10,000, how many of you have an autoresponder and you got some subscribers? I'll give you some tips on how to follow up a little better. New referrals. How about new referrals in your business? Whatever business, any program yet. Have you ever sponsored anyone? There's a way to follow up with them. You know, we're getting somewhere when someone joins something. How about new friends on social networks? I can tell you right now, looking around the room here, most of you here are really not taking advantage of any of the social networks you belong to. I mean, Facebook is, you could spend all day on Facebook and be overrun with leads. I guarantee it. If you follow a few simple strategies on Facebook, you would have a never-ending supply of people to connect with and people to make first contact with. There is a strategy to it, and there is an art to it, and it is not magic. Okay? And we'll talk about Skype. Most of you are not using Skype to its best advantage either. And new business leads. So people who come through your business and actually join your program. New in Twitter. Twitter is another great place to connect with people. And most people aren't using Twitter. I don't use Twitter. And it just, I mean, I have a Twitter account, but I really don't use it to the depth I should. Okay, let's talk about your new subscribers. You all agree, okay, I just want to check here. You all agree that building a list is mechanical. There's nothing magical to it, right? So for those of you who are new and you haven't yet got into the list building phase of things, you need to relax because building a list is mechanical. There's nothing magic about it. There's nothing, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to know anything. If you made it into this conference room, you have all the skills you need to build a list. And I know everyone here agrees with me, right? How about those seasoned veterans out there? Would you agree with me? If you made it to this conference room, you have all the skills you need to build a list. So look, that's not just me saying that, okay? This is other people are telling you. So you got to listen to me. It's just mechanical. Getting them on your list is easy. So add new subscribers to your Skype. If you follow what we teach at Contact List Builder, I teach you to ask for their Skype ID. Why? So that when they leave their Skype ID, you can add them to Skype and make contact. And if you're using our Sequence program, you can then send them a message, everyone, all at once. And man, I'm telling you, you can build your list fast on Skype in a very simple fashion. It doesn't take long. And it's one of the simplest resources to use to truly expand your business. It's all about spending time doing what you're doing. Okay, Gary, that's not what I said. I said it doesn't take anything to build a list. You don't need to have a strategy to build a list. I'm just going to ask all of our seasoned veterans out there, do you think you need to have a strategy to build a list? You need to have a strategy to make first contact. You need to have a strategy to make first contact. You need to have a strategy to build relationships. You need to have a strategy to connect with people. But building a list is mechanical, and anyone can do it. If you can use a mouse, if you can read, you can copy and paste, you can build a list. No strategy needed. Yeah. So there are strategies needed to make first contact. Absolutely. Now, I suggest you get them on Skype. That's the best way to make contact with people. You get them on there, you make contact. You just say, hi, how you doing? Great to connect. Thanks for subscribing. Wait for them to respond. All right, don't become a blabbermouth. Wait for them to respond. You can go on Facebook and search for your new subscribers. See if they're on, say, Facebook or your other social networks so that you can connect with them there. Send a personal welcome. Say, hey, I see you just subscribed to my autoresponder. This is me personally writing. I just wanted to connect and let you know there's a real person behind the autoresponder. Would love to make contact. What's best for you? Would you like to connect on Skype? Can I give you a call? Gary, we're not talking about making money with your list. If you want to make money with your list, you better make first contact. You better make contact with those people. Anybody agree with me? And because I'm talking about real money. Making money with your list is totally different from making contact, from building relationships, from building this trust in this group of people who will do anything you do. That's what I'm trying to get through here. You need to build trust with the people you get on your list so that they'll do whatever you do. What's the strategy? You recommend what you're doing. You do it. All right, you got to do it, guys. Okay, listen. For most of you out there, you're not doing it. That's why it's not working. I'm wondering here if there's anybody here who will admit they're not doing everything they could be doing for their business here on the internet. That they don't really have that A to Z plan in place, and they're not really following everything. You know, is that it? I'm seeing yeses and no. Maybe I need to rephrase. You're admitting it that you're not focused on the plan. Some of you are getting focused on the plan and they're really doing it. But I want you to confess that, yeah, I'm really not. I'll admit it. I'm not getting results because I really haven't done everything yet, and I'm kind of getting confused, overwhelmed. I hear it every day. It's okay. It's all right. All right? It's all right. Take a breath. Relax. You're trying to do too much and you're making this way too hard. Number one, you need to understand if you follow the strategies that we teach, or that wherever you want to learn on how to build a list, if you learn how to build a list and then you master the art of making first contact, of learning how to communicate, to get people to listen, actually to get people to talk. When you want to sell anyone on your list, you need to provide something of value to them to gain trust. That's right. And that's exactly what I'm talking about here. Everyone here on the call today who's on my list says if they got an email from me, they would at least look at it, and there was a very high chance they would join it. If it was free, absolutely, and depending what the cost was, they would join it. Just because they know me. They wouldn't even look at it. They wouldn't need to know more information. They'd just go, okay, because I always tell people what it is. I tell them how I'm using it. I tell them, and everybody who knows me knows what. As soon as I'm involved in something, I show you how to use it. So it just doesn't get any easier than that. But I got to tell you, I want you to put everything into this. I want you to say, you know what? I'm going to step over the edge. I am going to learn this strategy. I kind of get this, that if I connect with people, I actually connect, get out there and let people know that I'm interested in what you need. Most of you, if you're connected to me, I'm going to brag a little bit here, okay, if you're all right with that. If you're connected to me, You have everything you need for your prospect. Everything. You can simply direct them to our system, and I'll teach them what to do. All you need to do is build their trust. So what do? Well, you tell them that, first of all, you have to find out what they need. Are they kind of stuck online? Are they kind of overwhelmed online? Are they, they're not getting enough leads? They don't know how to follow up? Well, really, that's interesting. What have you tried to date? You find out what they're doing, and then you ask them, if I could show you a system that's been working for me, would you like to look at it? Does it get much easier than that? Truth be told, if that's all you did and you kept building that relationship with people and you kept directing them to things that work, you're going to build the same trust with them that you have with me. Well, actually, I'm not, Marva, because look around the room. If I'm not mistaken, I am surrounded here today by 28 other people who want to help other people, just like you, Marva. And that's all you need to let know out there. You just need to let people know that you're just here to help them. Here's what's working for me. It can work for you too. If you approach things from that aspect, your first contact is going to be much simpler, because whatever somebody says they need, as soon as you find out what they need, which you ask questions, what are you doing? What's working for you? That's not working for you. Well, what have you tried? New referrals in your programs. If you're with Contact List Builder, getting new referrals happens all the time. Send a personal note. Are they going to connect with you, everyone? Not necessarily. In our system, we allow them to put in their Skype ID and their phone number, and we give you access to that. Is that guarantee that they'll connect to you? No, not the first time, maybe. Who knows? But you have the opportunity to connect with them over and over again. And if they do have their Skype ID, you can add them to Skype, and there you have an opportunity to connect with them over and over again. And it's a phone number. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call, because this is not somebody that doesn't know you. This is somebody, you may not know them yet, but they already know you a little bit. Because if you're following the system that we teach at Contact List Builder, they're going to a page that has your picture, your name, and they're going to your form. So they're already a little bit familiar with who Florence is, or who Gary is, or who Georgia is. They've seen your picture. They've seen your picture, Jenny. They've seen your picture, Joe and John and Marva. So when they get that phone call from Marva that says, hey, Mary, I just got notice that you subscribed to my list. Awesome. I thought I'd give you a call to see how I can help. And then, oh my goodness, they might ask you a question and you don't know the answer. Oh my God, is that a problem for anyone? I want to know if anybody here has a challenge that what if somebody asks me something I don't know? Anyone have that problem? You're kind of worried. What if they ask me something and I don't know what to say? How much money you making? How much of this? How much of that? Yeah, Vince knows the answer. No, I'll just go ask Janet. That's the right answer. You know what? I don't know the answer to that, but I know someone who does. I will get the answer and get back to you. So what else is happening? Are there some things working in your life? And you just keep asking the questions. And then you set an appointment for another call, because if they've got questions, you're going to find answers. You're going to get off the phone, you're going to get on Skype with me, and you're going to say, hey, Janet, I just connected with Mary, and she was asking me, how does this work at CLB and blah, 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 because I really don't know how that works. Can you explain that carefully? And I'll just write back and say, okay, so say this, Marva. And then Marva can either write back to Mary or give Mary a call and say, hey, Mary, I've got Janet on the other line here. Or you call your sponsor in your program and you say, hey, Fred, I got Carl on the phone here. He can answer your questions or let you know where to go. Is that going to go anywhere with that client? It's going to go a long way. It's okay to say that you don't know. And I can tell you something, that it's really valuable to say, I don't know, but I know someone who does. Can I get back to you with that? Isn't that a great way to follow up? Can I get back to you on that? Make sure you get their contact information. Make sure you have them somewhere where you know you can connect with them. Don and I went to a Marshall Silver seminar, I think it's like 3-4 years ago now in Vegas, and best time I ever had. It was awesome. It was very long seminars, but it was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. And Marshall is a very charismatic man, and I learned a lot from him. And that was one of his biggest messages, was to be interested rather than interesting. And I have to tell you that you do feel that Marshall cares about you, that he's really good. He's the master. He really is. I think he's the master at teaching you how to do this. There's nothing really to master other than being yourself and being, I'm not going to say a servant to others, because we want to be of service to others, which means we simply need to find out, what are they looking for? What are their goals? What are their dreams? Why do they want to use the internet? I wonder what kind of answers I would get from all of you if I asked you, why do you want to use the internet? Why are you driven here to make this work? Why are you coming back over and over again and allowing yourself to get overwhelmed and not follow instructions? That you keep coming back because you know there's something here, but why? If I asked you why, what is driving you to do that? What is driving you to make this work? I can show you how to make it work. You got to make first contact, and you got to learn to master this. Everything else is mechanical. This is the meat of the matter here, is actually reaching out and connecting with people and being okay with the fact that you don't know everything and that you're new. It's okay to say I'm new. I'm just learning it. Man, am I ever having a lot of fun. I'm connected with the best people and the best training I've ever had anywhere. But what does time and financial freedom mean to you, Gary? Do you have a dollar amount on that? What does financial freedom mean? What does time freedom mean? What will you do with that? Do you have a clear picture of what that is and when you want it? What does that mean? Do you have the strategy in place to get there? Skype, in my mind, is one of the best resources. So it can be a little bit of a pain if you take the time to learn Skype. I mean, I know how to shut the notifications off. Skype doesn't have to be a pain. Skype is one of the most valuable tools out there between social networks and Skype. Skype by itself, you could build your entire business just by Skype. It's an amazing program. I challenge you to get used to it. Making contact there is awesome because you can have a text conversation, you can have a call. And again, I need to remind you, you're not talking to a stranger. They've gotten to already know you in some shape or form. Just don't sell them your business. Be different. Dare to be different. And I just want to say something here. I'm going to tell you guys, Carl is a machine. And he really does. He closes 90% of his business, period, wherever it is, okay? Wherever he talks to somebody, if he can get them to talk to him, he closes them. And I also want to say in the same breath, I'm so glad we have people like Carl around. But the majority of you here will never do that. Because you're not like Carl. And you're never going to be able to do that. Carl's a machine at this. He's learned. How long have you been doing this, Carl? 35 years, did you say? Did I hear you say? A long time. Yes, we can rent Carl, okay? Just come and play with me, and we can rent Carl. But you know what? There are very few masters like that out there. I do know many of them, and they're amazing, and I'm not them. I'm not them. Do I close a lot of people eventually? Sure, I do, because they get to know me, or they don't. They either like me or they don't. I'm okay with that. I bring them through my systems. I connect with them. I get them going. As you saw around the room, most of the people in here will just do what I say. So yeah, I can do that. It takes time to build that trust. It took Carl time to learn that strategy. What I'm going to suggest you do is find something that works for you. Because you're not Carl. You're not me. You're not anyone else. You're not Tony Robbins, you're not Oprah Winfrey, you're not Warren Buffett, you're not any of those people, you're you. And yes, you want to make money, and yes, you have goals, and yet you can have anything you want. Trust me, because who is it that says if you help enough people get what they want, you can have anything you want. And that is true. Okay? You can become as good as they are at what you do, Gary. Oh my God, that was so brilliant. Yes, you can become as good as they are at what you do. So all you need to do is find out what it is that you're really good at and master that art and understand. This is, I can't stress this enough, okay? You need to understand that you don't need to know how to do everything and you don't need to be all that. You simply need to make contact. And the best way to make contact is to be the best you can be at being you. Plus, how to be interested in other people. And Carl, I want to chat with you about that because I would really like to apply strategies to do that for everyone here that they can use. Because I think what's happening here, and this is something I'm going to be applying to my business, is that you need to learn. You need to learn a lot. You cannot learn it all. You need to learn a lot. You cannot learn it all. Are you with me yet? You need to learn a lot. You cannot learn it all. Be selective, okay? You need to learn. You need to adapt. You take what you learn. Carl is a machine at what he does. I'm a machine at what I do. Carl and I have a lot of skills that are very similar, so we complement each other very well, and that's a nice thing. He's really, really good at this over here, and I'm really, really good at this over here, and that works really well together, and that's okay. What you need to do is find out what you're really good at. What are some of the skills you've learned? Well, you're going to do that by trying different things and finding things that you can do. What are things that are fun for you? There's lots of ways to do this, all right? There's lots of ways to build your list. There's lots of ways to become yourself out here. You are going to find people who like you. Not everybody likes me. Can you even imagine that? Not everybody on the internet likes me. Not everybody on my list likes me. Not everybody that comes to my training likes me. Can you even imagine? They don't. Not everybody likes me. No. I'm okay with that. Not everybody thinks what I'm doing is the right way to do it or that it's like, they don't. Not everybody likes it. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody likes Carl. Okay? Not everybody likes Carl. Find that hard to imagine, don't you? You know what? You need to get over it. Not everybody's going to like you. I love teddy bears, that's right. So everybody loves my teddy bears. So I'm okay. I have a teddy bear side of me, so it's good. Guys, I need you to learn how to make this fun, okay? Stay with me. I promise you that I can teach you how to make first contact and have fun with this. Follow the system. Come play with me. Come play with me and I'll help you to stay focused. I'll help you to get rid of the stress and get rid of the confusion. There's a process here. Turn out the noise. Shut it out. Learn, adapt, apply. Learn, adapt, apply. This is action time. This is where I want you to think about what you learned today. I'm seeing a lot of conversation here. A lot of people saying, yeah, you're right. I agree. It's awesome. Yeah, yeah. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do today to make first contact? I want you to think about that. I want you to get out there. I want you to use some of the strategies we talked about today. And I want you to go out and make contact with as many people as you can. And just say, hey, let's shake it out there. What's happening in your life? What's working for you? I love that. Carl says you need to do a weekly mind cleanse. Cleanse out all the negative thoughts that happened in the past week so you don't bring it to the next week. You know what, Carl? If I can stretch that a little further, because yeah, that's great every week, but guys, every week isn't going to do it. How about every day? Every night when you go to bed, cleanse your mind of everything that may have been negative in the day. It's only negative because you put attention to it. Think of the things that went well before you go to sleep and plan your day for tomorrow. Don't plan it thinking, well, maybe it'll go better. Plan it thinking it will go better. And when you wake up in the morning, either before you get out of bed or just as soon as you can as you get out of bed, plan your day. Think about your day. Think about how amazing it's going to be. Put yourself in a better feeling state and then just go about your day. And do that every day, every day, every day. And I promise you, your day will get better and better and better, and you'll start to see what happens. Now, you have to deliberately do it. You can't just, oh yeah, maybe, oh, I'll do it today. Oh, I forgot to do it. You know, there's a lot of people here say they're going to do it, and they say, I forgot to do it. And I see we are top of the hour. I apologize for that, but I need you guys to hear me. This is not difficult, okay? The strategies we teach, like I said, you don't need any special skills to build your list. And if you allow yourself to change that negative thinking into positive thinking little by little, if you do it every day, I promise you, you are going to see results in your business. I promise you, you're going to see results in your life. You're going to see everything come together. Learn, adapt, apply, get in touch with me. I want to help you grow. I want to help you become more interested in everybody around you so that your business can grow, so that you can grow and flourish, so that we can all become amazing. Because the more people we can help, oh, it just feels so good, doesn't it? Well, if you're looking for a way to feel better, if you're looking for a way to get rid of those negative thoughts, please come and join us Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern at the Morning Motivate. I know that's not a convenient time for all of you, but I do hope that you'll make some time to join us when you can. Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern at themorningmotivator.com. This month we are, well, we're almost finished actually. E-Cubed by Pam Grout, and we're learning how to do 9 new energy experiments, and we're having a lot of fun learning to be better us, learning to get inside and just be better thinkers, better creators. Be back here next Saturday. We're going to take this a step further. We're going to show you how to combine your list building and your first contact to really build your business. You guys are awesome. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. You made my day special. I hope that we have influenced yours in some positive way. We'll see you next week. Have an amazing week. May it be better than you ever expected. And I'll see you soon.